let's read together. Underneath that picture, this is my best picture that I can get of what we're about. We're studying all these signs, which are director's gestures for directing his group and also directing himself. I put the extra ones to the left. It's a cartoon in America magazine about 5 years ago or so, and I looked at this and I said, my God, it's a perfect description of how semiology works in chant. So he has that squirrel up there. You look down at his podium and you will see Neumes that are straight out of St. Gall, and also the swirl is straight out of Long 239. I'll show you where they're at, you know, where it's director would go dum like that, you know, and straight out of there. So I put some more of them out there on the left-hand side at the top. I started with a virga, a clevis, and a double clevis, a torculus, tractulus and perectus, and two kinds of predate. The quick one and the check mark one, where you go dum instead of dum, puer, you know, you do that, you don't go puer, but puer, not assessed, and off you go. Okay, let's read this together. Other than the obvious obligation of paying attention to the meaning of the words, the singer need not follow the neumes step by step. They will guide the singer along as if by the hand, the voice following the gesture of the choirmaster's hand, or the copyist tracing of the neumes onto the parchment. The early notations have been called chironomic, Greek for hand sign, and the term is fully justified. The margin left to the singers for interpreting chant is really quite large. However, there can be no authentic expression of the chant if the objective indications provided in the manuscripts are contradicted. And further, the meaning of the words, the character of the music composition, its length range with the vocal demands it makes on the singers, as well as many other factors, must all be taken into consideration when considering the most suitable pitch, tempo, and expression for any given piece. You look that up in the overview of Gregorian chant, a little book you should have on the shelf. And I want to make sure we're all on that page. Okay. Any question about what that means? It's a revolution. As somebody last week, I think, said, you know, it's a new paradigm. It's a paradigm shift. Your world has really been turned upside down. If you always looked at the first note of a group, sorry, we're going to look at the last note of the group. We're going to lead to the last note. It's dum, not da-da-dum, but da-da-dum, la. And back now, let me go to the board again. A three-note torculus has several different ways of having a rhythm. All I need is three pitches, G-A-G, for instance. And I can go dum, or I can go dum, or I can go da-da-dum. Here we go. Dum, dum, dum. Okay, that's
What's
three of
the
these
nature
with
of
the
the
one
third
side right here.
How's the third one go?
The third one goes da, real quick on the first note.
Quick first.
Da. In fact, it should be real small. You write down like that. It's called initio debilis in Latin, they call it.
Weak beginning.
Yeah, weak first note. So you get dum dum, and that's just G-A-G with square notes. So the square notes don't tell you anything about how it should be sung.
How do those graphical symbols necessarily imply the rhythm that?
Try retracing them and singing at the same time.
Okay.
Go dum, ready? La, la.
But I can just as easily go, yeah, right?
Yeah, the first one is la rather quickly, and the next one la. Try drawing that. You get drum, drum. You can do fairly well, but you can't do dum as fast as you can that. And then the last one, dum, which is quite nuanced. Dum. Watch the director. He'll do that. Dum, and then dum, dum. And of course the practice, da, 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 dum. Your hand just almost flies out to that third pitch. La, la, And in fact, Guido Rezzo made a comment that he can't be sure that the second note of the Parectus is either a B natural or a C. Because he said it sung so quickly and lightly that I'm not quite sure. So sure enough, you will find the Parectus used for the DCC situations. When it does da, la la la, you'll find the clevis plus an extra note. So that it will often be notated as if it's three different pitches, or rather that it's DC, CBC instead of wait a minute, DCC, okay, DBC, It doesn't, but he talks about being the pitch so quick and so light that he's not sure which it is. And so the manuscripts aren't either. They'll either put it at the unison or with the looking like it's a pitch below.
Does a sign exist where a three-note neume would have a lengthening of the first note? Does that even
Would have it what?
Like GAG with the lengthening of the first note.
Yes.
Does it even exist? Okay, it does.
It does.
All right.
But usually it leads into the next syllable. That's why I only gave this. There's one more I can do, and that would be da. I can do that. If we draw that.
What would that be called?
Well, it's called a troctulus and a clevis. Separate, yeah. But it would be the three pitches.
Okay, and you could do that on a single
See the names of the neumes are nicknames.
Okay.
They very often simply describe, like Podatus, it looks like a foot. Virga is a rod, and the Virga, let's see. Yeah, the one with the Eriscus and the Virga, where you get Pes Quasis. Oh, I love that one. We had this, and this. Dum, dum, dum. It's called a crushed foot. Pes Quasis in Latin.
Could you kind of squeeze the first one?
And the first one, Pes quickly flowing, and the next one, Pes not flowing, but takes longer to draw and more vigorous. Dum, dum, dum. Very often it signifies a thrust by crescendoing to this note up here, the second note. So whenever you see that combination, you know you've got something moving quickly. Then the other one that's fun, very often this is called the salicus. See, dum, la la la, la la la. And of course between A and C, you get something else. You get, or in lone, you get that. There's my unchiness. This is the upside down question mark in Spanish. And this has been lone always gives the upside down question mark for the quilisma, which means it should be O. It's to skid upwards. And this is the important goal of the whole thing. It's the exact opposite of what you were taught in the word method. You were taught to emphasize down here. This is simply the kickoff. La, la, dee da dum dum. You know, this would be dum, and this would be dum da, and very often this is between whole steps. Dum 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 through. You're getting an awful lot of semiology all of a sudden right now, but maybe this will help you look at it, because we're going to have to analyze every single one of these notes and neumes. See how many different ways we can do the ascent. Let's see, then we can do, and finally, or. All I've done is three pitches. Na-da-dum, ya-da-dum, da-dum, da-dum, da-da-dum. da-dum, da-dum, and then da-dum. Oh, pardon me. I need to put that there. And even this one could be that thing too. Now this is, it's called graphic separation. This is what you have, star to it, star to it. If you draw it, you get the actual how to sing it. Star to it, try it. Star to it. See, that second note. So you get star to it, or star to it. So if you watch the hand sign, those are simply hand signs frozen on parchment. It'd be like playing one of those old analog computer discs. We used to have wax discs. The needle followed it around and wiggled itself around, and it actually retraces the waves. You're doing the same thing here. You're retracing the motions of a director. It's almost eerie. It's almost like the guy came back to life from 970 when he wrote the darn thing. At least I get that feeling. And this is what Cardin is talking about when he says, they will guide the singer as if by the hand, just as any conductor directs by the hand. James Levine conducts Wagner the same way as this. He never gave me a downbeat for the ring cycle. I watched him every night on TV, smiled at the first violinist, and then he went like that. He didn't go, not a single downbeat did he give them. He gave them nothing but motions like this. So I kept watching, where's his downbeat? Didn't exist. Nothing but these kind of gestures. And he said, I sat there tracing him, then I looked down and said, it's just like the Neumes saying go. That's what he was doing. And meanwhile, they were just following him, you know, every motion of his, the swinging and the sway. The Rhine River, it just flowed beautifully that night. You know, you sat there and close your eyes, you can see it flow. Now, some other conductor might have done this, and then we'd had a very jagged Rhine River. You know, it wouldn't have been very nice at all. And that's the problem. When you get too literal, you miss the music.